So I really like the movie. I can't remember the name of it. American Gangster, and I'm mixing it up with another movie called American Hustle. Um, but in American Gangster, Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. Uh, they play antagonists, and over the last 7 years, I have noticed something that I overlooked. Not that I overlooked, but I coped. And that is when you get off the train in 1995 in Manhattan and you look up, you see that all of the workers who are cleaning the buildings they're all South American, and you don't worry about it. You don't hate nobody. It's not like you're dying to burn in the sun cleaning buildings. Um, but over the last year, I've seen people who are very Americanized, but not American. And I said this joke. This was from 3 years ago, because I lived on Jamaica Avenue, on the border between Brooklyn and Queens. I said, in order to be at home in America, you have to first sell heroin and earn your way out with death, and then you have to sell heroin back and earn your way back with death, and then you get to own a bodega and have your children believe that they are not American. They believe that they're from Afghanistan or from Bolivia or South America or somewhere else. That's what it takes to be, and that was because when I saw the film American Gangster, a bunch of his subordinates got in trouble, and of course the movie highlights the screw-ups. But not everyone is incompetent screw-up, and especially when it comes into when people are making a lot of money and there are a lot of subordinates. There's bound to be at least a few simpletons that figure, I'm good at the business that I'm in, the business that I'm shutting down, that I'm in is shutting down. Let me just follow the money back to Afghanistan. And specifically it was because the Frank Lucas story starts out in the military. I think he's a military officer, if I'm not mistaken. They would just follow the money back to Afghanistan, and then once you know, what are you going to do? You're going to go to Ireland, you're going to kidnap a couple of 23-year-olds, tell them that you're an oil billionaire because you can, and then bring them back to your cave. In Afghanistan, seems like a sweet deal, certainly better than a divorce in America, and child support and union dues and below living wages and uh, crime, infidelity, disease, cultural toxicity, and the ever present threat that if you're here, that you will become a victim just by happenstance, or your children. Why bother dealing with all of that when you can just 1987 to 1993 follow the money back to Afghanistan and just buy a big piece of land and grow heroin before the first Gulf War? I mean, I just want to take a break right here and mention and it's completely out of left field, but one of the things that launched the Marvel Universe was their willingness to go there. That the Vietnam Tony Stark origin was shifted, very like strongly shifted to the Middle East and the modern era without any kind of homage. They took the guy's name Yinzin and they gave it to a Egyptian looking guy. And that's one of the things that made the Iron Man movie like, oh snap, this is worth looking at. Human frailty, actual stakes. But stakes are bigoted because stakes imply that some demographics are less empowered than other demographics. So I'm like, what does it take to be at home in America? You need to leave and come back with a different identity. Um, and now we have Diddy in court. And the thing that every liberal has as their defense line is, when did I have autonomy? When was I not under duress? And that's usually the go-to for any people of color. However, with Diddy, he comes from money to some extent, but he does not come from freedom. Because if you say he comes from money and then therefore he's responsible for his decisions, his money did not come with freedom. His money came with rules and responsibilities. Um, I was watching a news clip of a tank on a trailer being pulled by a truck, and a train went right through the trailer because the truck stopped on the tracks, and the train hit the tank with full force, spun the tank around, kept going. I'm waiting. I looked at 4 or 5 different versions of that news article, that news clip, and no one called anyone into responsibility. No one said, "Oh, this person, the driver of the truck, works for this or that agency," or nothing. No news press asking anyone in the military to take responsibility, or no one in the news press talking about how much it cost the train company to fix the train. And I looked in several places. It was just a gag reel. Let's cut to this tank on a trailer being hit by a train. Wow, and that's all there is to that story. Next. And I looked. I would like to be living in the layer of comfort so that I could have the most poisonous liberal beliefs. So that whatever stresses me out, I could just select on Netflix, Amazon, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, and whatever Paramount and Skydance is putting out their stuff on. And I could just stay distracted and think that what I'm doing means something to other people in a way that gets to pay my rent. That's it. That's what I would like. And if you ask me, if you were to punish me with that lifestyle forever, say, well, what if we give you that lifestyle, but then you have to be stuck there forever? I would say, A, that's what you said last time. And B, okay, but with a partner. If we're gonna go If we're gonna go normal hell, then I need to at least have like a wife and children in the 1920s, where if she goes crazy, I could just send her to a mental hospital, and she could never say nothing bad about me. If not, I'll just stay single. And pardon my effeminate motions, but nobody in my environment is allowed to act like a free man. If you're gonna act free, you have to do it. You have to express your freedom in an effeminate way, or else you get punished.